Yeah, difficulties making these videos. Back in it, part two. Speaking in urban America, suburban America, we going through a lot, same similarities in everything that we're going through, and the decisions and the choices we're making. Every periodically, our nation faces crucial decisions. One of the last decisions was the abortion, the stance that we take in abortions. Um, I feel like people missing the point. There's always a general action trying to curtail everyone's actions, and no one really ever want to look at the fact that when the laws for abortion were made, that a lot of situations was getting out of hand, not just economically. They felt like the people in itself, the morality clause was defunct, and everybody was basically just living a free sexual in, environment. They was living in a free sexual environment, and so having sex, getting pregnant, going to the clinic, having an abortion actually became a norm. And there are some people who still trying to uphold the moral aspect of things. They're gonna call that barbaric. And so therefore you see you got two sides. I feel like a woman's choice for her body is hers. But there are exceptions that I feel personally. You got the exceptions that are what you gonna call it, the married people. If you got a husband and you guys already made an oath, that's like a couple. That's like anything going in a format. Like if that man wanted to have a vasectomy, he can't just go out and have a vasectomy. He got to discuss that with you, his wife, because that's when you in a relationship and you married, them type of decisions really affect two people, and so you know a woman have a right to choose and to make a decision over her body. But if you're in a marriage, that's a union. You kind of forfeit your single objective here. So I don't know if people trying to see that different. And that's when everybody try to drag the marriage rules or the union rules how they want it. That's why he say ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't walking down the aisle with nobody's daughter. That's just my personal opinion. Who knows? Maybe it might change tomorrow. Maybe it might change next year. I'm pretty sure I'm standing on what I'm standing on now. I don't think none of this shit is worth it. Even being in a situation where, let's say, you got a girlfriend, a wife, or whatever, none of it is worth it. These rules we got in the urban communities, they built different. There's a lot of hurt and pain, everybody moving off the agenda, everybody raising the flag of being single parenthood, single mothers, they raising the kids. If you're a single mother and you got some kind of a feeling towards a man or whatever, you built that energy when you feel like you got to do everything on your own. How you think your kid's gonna be? And so that in itself is defeat in this race purposely, and that's both sides, you know. And so who am I to speak on it? Because how do I feel about being in a marriage, raising kids, doing a union? I don't want to do it. I don't know how to do it. That's not my thing. Um, I wouldn't even encourage anybody who I care about to even go down that path, especially if they stuck in a situation with them and the person they don't have the same understanding. They don't share the same beliefs. So, with that being said, we could talk about how many problems we see out here. That no wonder society is kind of defunct right now. We talk about the celebrity game when the comedians started beefing. Um, that interview I spoke about earlier in part one, I realized at that point Kevin Hart and a few other, like Dave Chappelle, a few other dudes, even prior to that, even Mike, they have been exhausted the comedy rims, and they were just maintaining at a more possible Hollywood scenes. And even the stand up was defunct. Steve Harvey definitely was just doing his shows. And and so the comedy situation looked like it needed to breathe life. So here comes controversy. The biggest thing for things to propel some type of money or something like that, it seems to be controversy. And then the rap game adapted to it. Fire off the beef. I didn't even know they was beefing. I enjoy every minute of it though because it's entertaining. But I can't help but to wonder what is the distraction because in the meantime, between time, politically wise, we got a man running for president who was president for 4 years, and certain things happen, and next thing you know, is a difference. 8 years, I don't even know, was it 8 years? I don't even think how many, but 4 years went by. Now he's back trying to run for president. He is the Republican representative, and he's on trial with criminal cases and lawsuits. Jury being picked. I don't want to say it's a political witch hunt. I don't know what a political witch hunt is, and I smile when I say that because you never know who's watching and who want to censor you. I wouldn't know what half these things is because I'm expected not to know. But when you look at the whole thing, is right now America is one of the greatest countries in the world. We just give so much of ourselves to the next. We got Israel right now. They in a beef with Iran. First, they was in a war with Palestine, and we are aiding them, giving them whatever they need. Ukraine and Russia have been fighting for the last 2, 3 years. We've been sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. I've been hungry about 3 times for the year, y'all. Remember, I told y'all I got cancer. And so the type of cancer I got, it hinders me from doing a lot. I just look this damn good because I pray a lot. But I managed to maintain because I got a head on my shoulders and I ain't on no drugs. That's like seems to be the number one rule when you live in an urban community. As long as you ain't on no drugs, you got a good chance of surviving. It's just a few rules: no drugs, and make sure your mental health is a 7 or 8. You can survive in the urban community. Because if you're on drugs and your mental health is a 3 and a 4, you're out of here. You're out of here. You're out of here like yesteryear. So you got to know what you're doing. So the controversy that I'm looking at, in I don't want no handouts. I know how to make moves. Like I said, I'm multi-talented. It's just that the reason why I'm not up there with the multi-millionaires and the Puffies and the Jay-Z's, and I say straight up, I've been around, and honestly, I wasn't comfortable with anything. And I duly believe that all of them that got all that money in the entertainment industry, they had to do uncomfortable things. And me with all these complexes, I would never make it in that era. I would have to be blessed in with a certain situations because what they call blessings ain't blessings. They know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing because a lot of it. Look. The spotlight on Puffy. He ain't charged with no criminal cases yet. He ain't got no criminal dispositions. He just got a bunch of lawsuits. People just telling what happened, what they did to get money, or what they did to think they was gonna get some money, and now they just like, okay, we're gonna sue him because he didn't fulfill his end of the bargain. I don't believe half the shit, but I know Puffy's capable of the other half because at the end of the day, like I said, I grew up in New York City. I seen Puffy and them driving around. I seen a lot of things I probably shouldn't have seen. They was out there with it. They was flamboyant with it. I thought other people accepted it, so maybe I done got too old where people done forgot about it. That's one of the beauties where I don't drink, I don't carry on like a lot of individuals. I don't even party too hard, but I don't even remember my ass. And so me having the memory skills to say, okay, I can tell you exactly what in the '90s. Of course, Puffin and wore makeup. Puff had that black bands. I was impressed with that black bands. If you look at my videos, you hear me talk about Puffy and his black bands up and down in Harlem, up and down Manhattan, downtown. Shit used to be parked where I used to call it the transsexual alley. It was parked by the highway where nothing but, the drug dealers will go sell their drugs. A lot of people go back there. But after a certain hour, if you went back there, you was going back there to mess with, and this was in the 90s. Things wasn't even as open as it was, as it is now. And if we seen Puff in them areas, and we knew who he was, he did a lot of training. Look, he's a New York City boy. I don't know what's wrong with everybody trying to come at that man. That man, that's the game. They when you look at all the child stars, they had to endure that. A lot of pedophilia been in these situations. So unfortunately, we sat there, ate our popcorn, and was highly entertained by a lot of people, but not knowing behind the scenes. A lot of people had done lost their manhood, their childhood, their innocence. A lot of things have been forfeited and sacrificed just to bring you entertainment. So I don't know who to blame for all of this energy. You know, and I ain't mean to go so deep into that because, like I say, I ain't here to judge that man. Let that man deal with what he got to deal with. But I'm just trying to remind everybody he ain't convicted of nothing yet. And he's still out here. He's still rich. While a lot of us running around on the internet and in the streets having a conversation. Puffy ain't no good. Man, if you over 40 years old, you know who Puffy is. If you over 35, you know who Puffy is. If you wasn't on no rock in the 90s and you wasn't on crack, if you wasn't on no rock in the 90s, or if you wasn't on a rock in the 90s, you know exactly who are. You ain't got to ask about Biggie Smalls. One of the reasons Pac and them clashed because all that homosexuality was coming out in the open. It was out in the open. That's why Tupac felt like he could violate that whole squad like that. The whole thing back then when we was younger is they named themselves Bad Boy, but underneath they bad boys. They really bad. Like they some bad boys. I mean, bad boys. Not the bad boys in the streets killing nobody, selling no drugs. The bad boys, the naughty boys, the boys that's in behind the closed doors doing really bad things that real men like me would be like, that's bad shit. Get that bad shit away from me. Yeah, but that's neither here nor there. J. Cole and Drake. Why? I don't want to go into the light skin thought. Be back at it again. Everybody, we not even looking at the craft and lyrical and meaning and the essence. And even the Drake fans, I don't know if they just can't give Kendrick that much credit. I don't want to say it's a money thing or we impressed. We think that Drake got more money, so it's like, or he's more popular, so it's like, let's just say Drake won. Even Cameron and Mace, the two rappers from Harlem that I respect, they from my town. We all from that town. I respect them. They around here screaming, but they forgot when they got discriminated on. And so what they doing right now is being biased. Clearly, K. Dot is smoking this dude Drake. Drake coming up and saying some shit that we expect his ass to say. I don't want to go into the every time a light skinned and a dark skinned dude start beefing, the light skinned dude start talking about how he look and what he did and how and while the dark skinned dude is busy giving him pain, he busy trying to pandering and act like he prissy and all that. That shit ain't gonna get no damn battles around here. And I hate to say that, and I don't want to be like, oh yeah, I'm going in because I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan. Because the truth is, I ain't never even listened to nothing. I'm a Drake fan. I'm no, actually, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm a Future fan. I'm an X and O. I'm a low life. Weekend and Future, and my best musicians to me in this era for me. Even though we talking a few years back, but I can't even give you too many songs from Kendrick Lamar. I can't give but this situation here where he did him, Metro Boomin and Future, they dropped that like that verse was an earthquake. And even his comeback he just recently dropped. If you don't know hip hop, if you don't know certain things that go over your head, he's still eating Drake. There's I don't want to say it, they back on that light skin shit again. Oh well, Drake what? Drake is saying some shit that we all know he gonna say. The shit that Kendrick Lamar saying is going over so many people's head, but he's saying some shit. He's still spitting fire. Whether he's spitting it quiet, whether he raunchy with it, Y'all got to start really looking at the craft itself and stop judging people by their complexion and you know. Just a week ago, everybody hated Drake. I'm a Scorpio. Drake is Scorpio. Everybody hated Drake a week ago. He came out with an album dissing everybody. Everybody was hoping his shit fly. A week ago, when he talked about Megan the Stallion, he dissed a couple of motherfuckers. Nobody said nothing. Everybody was saying they was on their hate for Drake. Even when Rick Ross said something, which was, that's money. You can't take Rick Ross serious. Everybody, yeah, I was surprised. They like Rick Ross and what he said and saying that, yeah, they was riding Rick Ross. I don't want to say it, but against, but you got people still talking about what Drake is leading. Drake ain't leading in nothing. Drake is doing what he doing, making his money. Kendrick Lamar is smoking his ass in a rap battle, and that's it. That's the controversy. And that's all I got to say on that topic, really. You know, I ain't gonna let it distract me from the things that I'm really looking at, like where we at in November with this election. How is this summer gonna be with all this crime going on? The weather is so crazy. We've been having earthquakes and all kind of shit. What's gonna happen after that? There's a lot of people catching cancer, myself included. The times and lifestyles are getting harder and harder to achieve. Poverty's at all-time high. I live in New York City. You can't ride the train without watching your back, hoping somebody don't come at you or hoping that you ride the train safely and don't kill nobody. That's, it's real issues. The hypocrites are in power. I got a Mayor Adams. Ooh, I don't want to speak about him because let me tell you something. The way how they run this city right now, this shit is transparent. He ain't lying. It's transparent. Everything is transparency, and all you see is a bunch of dirty laundry. You don't even know this man is a whole womanizer. He had the chief of police, the commissioner, first a woman, a black woman, put the sister in power. She got out of there in the first couple of months, like, yeah, I ain't doing this for him. You know what I'm saying? The pressure. It was really bad. There ain't no respect. Once you see, let me tell you something, right? What they didn't realize, right? If black woman's so, black woman this, black woman that, he put a black woman in there and she got up out of there. So everybody, that's telling me something though, because I really do know that black women know what they be talking about. That's actually telling me something wrong in there. Because that's one thing about black women. They got a lot of shit with them, but if they in a position like that and they got up out of there, something ain't right. Or maybe they did something. I don't know. Maybe she did something. They was like, you gotta go before we put you on blast. We let you walk up out of here with your head high. I don't know how them things go. I don't know what she did. I watch Law and Order to figure it out because Law and Order really do be replaying the situations that going on with NYPD. You know, then we got the college protests. See, this is the thing that nobody looking at. This is why I'm on the internet trying to give the message to y'all. The pro-Palestinians, the pro-Israelites, the Jews, whatever, they fighting over there. Y'all got the opportunity to go to school here. Y'all parents got money. A lot of y'all got the opportunities. A lot of y'all overpopulate these places. This is why when you go into the hospitals or certain important agencies, the doctors, the oncologists, everybody, they from somewhere else. They not even American. They became American after a while, or maybe second generation, however it go. But what I'm trying to explain to you is, I don't feel like it's right for them to be on them campuses acting a fool because of what's happening over there in the Middle East. And I never understood that, and I never really understood that, because being a Black American, we can't get up and start wilding on these streets or in places of business on school property because Nigeria attacked South Africa or Rwanda, the genocide. Right now they probably at war. I'm not gonna lie, them folks over there that look like me, they at war. They're Africans, they're at war. Because they look like me, I'm supposed to be over here going crazy, interrupting a disposition. And that's the thing. I'm so sorry I'm a human being. I look at it as such, and then that's why everybody look at me like I'm a mad person. And he's not my own be looking at me. My own looking at me like I'm out of pocket. But the other people, like when I get around the Palestinians and the Jews and whites or other ethnic backgrounds, they they look at me, they see some form of power, but they look at me like the nerve or the audacity. That's only New York though, and certain other places. But because I'ma speak, like I don't know why y'all out there on them campuses doing all that. Y'all need to be in class. What they got going on over there, understand that's y'all background, understand all that, how cultural and depth y'all feel. And y'all don't, y'all here now. Y'all here and y'all getting schooled for a reason. Yeah.